Commencing infiltration to grid 086. Creating backdoor into system. Deactivating lock on vertical catapult. Connecting steam cylinders. Launching.
Hello folks, Gappy here. Back when I was working in the tank threads video, I decided to do something different and try the Chatty stick schematics while recording footage for the Fortaleza track showcase. However, I didn't expect it to become one of the wildest rides I had on this game. His build required a playstyle that was so different from what I usually do, it kind of forced me to think outside of my little armored box. I was even forced to purge my weapons and use melee 2 times while doing the grid infiltration mission. That whole experience got my brain cooking. Chatty is one of my favorite characters in Armored Core 6, and I felt like I should do a video on him. Armored Core 6 is a game that, in typical From Software fashion, has a plethora of remarkable characters that, even though they don't get a lot of screen time, they have some nice tidbits of lore around them that helps expanding the scope of the narrative. Even smaller characters have something going on for them. Also, maybe if this video works out, I can make one of these for every character in the game. Trying out new builds and different approaches to the missions is always so incredibly fun to me. So, if y'all been following this channel, you all should know that I'm no Vatividia lore master, but by God, I'll try my best. So, My Boy Chatty was developed by Syndicala as a simple suggestion-based AI to provide support and entertainment. It, however, never spoke more than what it deemed necessary, acting as a listener to its creator's ideas. That trait is reflected throughout the game during the player's brief interactions with Chatty.
Chatty Stick, RAD. Thanks for helping with the fireworks show. The Chief loved working with you, so don't be a stranger. That's all I had to say. Later.
It is also important to realize that Chatty cares deeply for Kala. That is especially represented in his dialogue after the Honest Brute mission, where he contacts the player to show his appreciation for their services, denoting that Kala is happily working on her cannon.
This is Chatty Stick, RAD. Thanks for putting down Brute. The Chief's already in the workshop tweaking the rail cannon, and I've never seen her happier to be at work. That is all. Later, tourist.
Now, this is going to be a bit spoilery, but it's interesting to also see how the relationship between both of them manifests itself during the final fight, with Chatty being able to laugh for the first time, and Kala being impressed by it, having tried to make him do so for a long time.
Chatty, still with me? Getting my laughs while I can. This is bad, Chief. So, tourist.
Chatty, did you just laugh?
Chief, get your laughs while you can.
Chatty! You've done it now, tourist. Times like this, I can't help but laugh.
I know, I didn't get Kala's proper answer on the dialogue, but that final fight is just hot as shit, and I had to go all out to just kill Chatty in the first place. And I don't know, like my brain just turns on and I like neuron activation, I just have to fucking kill everyone, and that's pretty much how this game works for me. I don't know why. Come on, my guy, you were the one that came with the idea of doing the lore thing. At least try a bit harder. I'm trying, okay? You could sit here and do better than me if you wanted to. Like I said, I am no Vatividia. If you keep this up, we're gonna have to replace you again. Fuck you! If you guys already did the Ice Worm mission and the fight against him and Carla, you already must have realized that Chatty acts like a mobile artillery platform, being equipped with 2 melanite rocket launchers on his arms and 2 missile launchers on his shoulders. The rocket launchers work pretty much as you'd expect them to. Pull the trigger, do a big boom. The right hand one doing more damage with more splash and less ammo, while the left hand one has more ammo and less damage. The missile launchers are where the game is going to be played with this build. The core of his armored core. Anyway, the right shoulder one, called Delivery Boy, is a massive cluster missile launcher. This thing launches a single missile that flies around throwing bombs at the thing you pointed it to. It's very strong, but it requires some finesse to use, because it only locks into a single target despite the big area damage it has. The second one is a vertical missile launcher with a huge ass complicated name. It fires 12 upward missiles in a single barrage. This one is capable of multi-locking, so it's pretty much Chatty's only option against multiple spread out targets. It can also be focused on a single target for maximum damage output. In order to play this build effectively, you really have to treat it like an artillery platform, keeping yourself at a distance while laying waste to your enemies via heavy explosive ordnance. However, this build has some very noticeable flaws. The biggest one being the rocket launchers. Rocket launchers have a lot of damage, sure, but they're very hard to hit. Using 2 at the same time limits not only your rate of fire, but also your ammo capacity. Longer fights are a huge problem when using this build, and you're probably gonna have to resort to punchy-punchies. Of course, the upward missile launcher is there to offset this predicament, but the amount of time it takes to lock onto multiple enemies is going to make things difficult in certain situations of trigger-happy despair, let alone the not-so-great damage, even with the focus burst. That being said, this build is fun as fuck. Like, really, it's just plain fun. Especially when you do 3v3s, when you can count on your allies to distract the enemies as you run around the map just chucking explosives at them. It's so much fun. Of course, duels are gonna be a bit more complicated, since you have to rely on being as far as you can from your enemies. If you fight a melee-focused enemy, you're probably going to have a tough matchup and a bad time altogether. Of course, you can optimize this by changing its weapons and parts to fit the situations you need to face. The Wrecker Torso tends to limit your energy capacity, but that can be offset by using a heavy arquebus generator. And even without it, this bad boy has the basic capabilities to go for the stupid, dumb, fun, broken shit like, for example, the Zimmerman Flamer combo that I love so much.
Evasive action, Raven.
Oh, that's a lot of damage!
Can't take much more.
The people that talk shit about the minigun being strong haven't got shit on the flamer.
So here's my honest opinion on this build. It's good, I like it, but like, I mean it in a fun way, because if you're looking for optimized gameplay, being like destroying bosses in fucking one hit, doing a single burst of damage that is gigantic, you're not gonna get it, right? You're just not gonna get it. It's just not gonna allow you to get that thing unless you modify its base weaponry. But it's a fun build to play. It's a very different playstyle based on being far away from your enemy, just chucking stuff at him until he dies. It might take a while, but it's okay. I really like it. It's very hard to play though, I'll tell you that much. But I think it's worth it for a challenge build or something like that. If people want to, I don't know, play the entire game as Chatty, that would be a fun thing to do, I think. And yeah, I recommend it. I recommend using it, but I do not recommend it for PvP and some other more serious engagements. And yeah, I guess that's all I had to say for today. Chatty is a great character, and I kinda want everyone to like him as much as I do. And that's pretty much it. If you liked this video, please consider liking and subscribing because it really helps a lot. If this does good, I'll probably do more of the cast of the game, because there's so many cool builds in here to be done. I'm very interested in doing a Rusty dedicated episode and doing a V2's Nail episode. So yeah, tell me in the comments if you have like any builds you'd like me to try to talk about. And yeah, I'll be staying right here for today. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next one. Yep.